28 Years Later is a film about survival colliding with belief, legacy, and what's left of humanity when civilization has been gone for nearly 3 decades. At its core, it's about how people try to find meaning, whether in faith, memory, or even in death. The film's opening is chaotic. Jimmy's home is overrun by the infected. His father, a minister, doesn't resist them. Instead, he prays. To him, this is prophecy fulfilled. He hands Jimmy a cross necklace before allowing the infected to infect him. This opening lays out what the whole movie's really about. What do we hold on to when the world ends? Jimmy's dad isn't just a victim of the outbreak. He's a victim of his own conviction. Instead of fighting to live, he interprets everything as divine destiny. In that moment, faith becomes a way to make sense of fear, but it also becomes a reason to give up. That cross necklace sticks with Jimmy, literally and figuratively. It starts out as a piece of his father, a reminder of family and belief. When Jimmy reappears decades later as a cult leader, he's wearing it inverted. That single image sums up how time, trauma, and isolation have twisted his father's faith. Almost 30 years after the outbreak, Britain is still sealed off from the rest of the world. While Europe has recovered, Britain has been left to die, locked in permanent quarantine. On Lindisfarne, a small tidal island cut off by the sea, a small group of survivors live in isolation. Among them are Jamie, his sick wife Isla, and their son Spike. Life here is stripped down to the basics: fishing, farming, and scavenging. Technology is gone. They don't have contact with the outside world, and the community survives by relying on old, simple routines. One of these is Spike's coming-of-age hunt, where he and Jamie travel to the mainland to kill the infected. It's part survival, part ritual, and a way to give their lives order. Lindisfarne isn't just a setting. It shows how isolation pushes people backwards. Their way of life mixes practicality with belief. Rituals like Spike's hunt give their lives meaning. In a world where the future is uncertain, these customs are a way to hold on to purpose and control. Lindisfarne has a real historical link as an early Christian site, and the film uses this to suggest that when modern systems fail, people fall back on older, simpler ways of living, like faith, rituals, and survival. For Spike, Lindisfarne is all he's ever known, but he already feels trapped by it. On the other hand, his father sees it as safety. The hunting trip, meant to connect him to tradition, instead makes him question why they keep living this way. His unease becomes the spark that drives him to challenge the life his father has accepted. When Jamie and Spike cross to the mainland, the trip feels dangerous but routine, until they find something very unsettling: a chain infected with the name Jimmy burned into its skin. This single detail says a lot. It shows that not everyone left alive is simply surviving. Some are torturing the infected, leaving their mark as a twisted way of reclaiming control.
Kill it! What are you waiting for, Spike? Now, son! Spike, finish it! For Christ's sake, Spike, fucking kill it!
Humanity hasn't just suffered, it's become crueler, darker, and more brutal in quarantine. Not long after, they encounter something even worse: the Alpha, an infected unlike anything seen before. It's bigger, stronger, faster, and disturbingly intelligent. The Alpha fundamentally shifts how we see the infected. For 2 films, they were essentially wild animals. Dangerous, but predictable. Now, the Alpha represents the idea that the virus hasn't just been around for 28 years, it's been evolving along with the people who've survived it. When Jamie and Spike return to Lindisfarne after their trip to the mainland, Spike is celebrated as a hero. The village throws a feast in his honor, marking his first infected kill as a rite of passage. Yet his reaction is the opposite of what the community expects. Instead of pride, Spike looks uneasy and detached from the celebration. It's here that Spike begins to see the village differently. His kill wasn't some glorious victory, it was terrifying, and nothing like the tale his father now retells with embellishment for the crowd.
Billy Big Bollocks here is just fucking taking shots.
What? I kept missing
No,
him.
you didn't. He's humble. Oh, humble Spike! A fucking giant killer!
That exaggeration drives a wedge between them. Jamie wants the story to inspire hope and strength, but Spike sees it as a lie covering up the truth of how brutal their reality really is. This disillusionment deepens when Spike catches his father's affair with Rosie, the village schoolteacher. At the same time, Jamie refuses to even consider outside help for Isla's illness, dismissing Dr. Kelson as unstable. Spike sees this as cowardice. His father has accepted a life defined by routine and small comforts, even if it means doing nothing for Isla or for their future. This is the point where Spike starts seeing Lindisfarne for what it is, a dead end. His father embodies it, someone who has accepted small, safe survival at the cost of ambition, hope, and even love. Spike's decision to leave later in the film is born here. Frustrated by his father's complacency and desperate to help Isla, Spike finally snaps. He sets a barn on fire to distract the village and sneaks away with his mother, heading for the mainland. It's his first real act of rebellion, a rejection of Lindisfarne's fear and safety, and he chooses risk to hopefully save his mother. Their escape leads them to a ruined church, and this location is no coincidence. The church directly mirrors the prologue, where young Jimmy hid as his father surrendered to the infected. Now, decades later, Spike unknowingly retraces those same steps, stepping into a world haunted by the ghosts of past faith. Inside, the church is silent, hollow, and lifeless. What once represented sanctuary now feels like a tomb for belief itself. Its broken pews and shattered stained glass can be seen as relics of a faith that failed to protect anyone when the world collapsed. As night falls, Spike falls asleep, only to be attacked by an infected. Before he can react, Isla intervenes. The ruined church reinforces one of the film's strongest ideas, that in this world, religion has lost its grounding. By sheltering in a church, Spike and Isla literally occupy a space that used to promise hope, but now offers nothing beyond just shelter. It's a powerful visual metaphor. Isla killing the infected in a trance shows how disconnected she's becoming. This moment also hints at her later acceptance of her illness and her decision to die on her own terms. Eric enters the story as a rare sign of outside authority. He briefly gives Spike and Isla a sense of direction and security. He represents the world beyond Britain, a reminder that order and structure still exist somewhere. For Spike, Eric feels like proof there's more than Lindisfarne's closed and stagnant way of life. But this brief sense of order is broken when they come across a pregnant, infected in labor. It's one of the film's most unsettling moments. The infected woman delivers a baby that appears completely uninfected. The scene is tense and strange. Watching a new life arrive in a world defined by death feels very wrong. Eric immediately reacts with panic. To him, the baby is a potential threat. He tries to kill it, arguing that there's no room for uncertainty in a world this dangerous. Spike and Isla push back, unwilling to harm an innocent child. Their argument is cut short when the Alpha appears and kills Eric, brutally ending the debate. This sequence shifts the story from just staying alive and avoiding infection to questioning what life even means in a world like this. The baby challenges what everyone thinks they know about the infected. Is it proof things are changing? Or is it just another danger waiting to happen? This moment deepens the film's central tension. Survival isn't just about staying alive. It's about deciding what's worth protecting. The baby symbolizes an unclear future. It could be hope, or it could be danger. Spike's decision to protect it marks a turning point for his character. We're introduced to Dr. Kelson. He is a calm and eccentric figure who sedates the Alpha with a dart and leads Spike and Isla to his sanctuary. His home is surrounded by a towering monument made of human bones, skulls, spines, and skeletal remains arranged with almost ceremonial care. At first, it looks grotesque, like something out of a nightmare. But Kelson doesn't see it as morbid. To him, it's an act of remembrance. He explains his philosophy of memento mori.
I love her.
And Isla, you love Spike.
So much.
Memento amoris. Remember, you must love.
Each skull belongs to someone he's buried, a way of giving shape to their existence in a world where everything else is fading. Instead of running from mortality or denying it, he catalogs it, creating what he calls a kind of memory archive. Kelson offers a contrast to Jimmy's cult-like worldview. Memento amoris is his words to Spike, meaning remember her love. This transforms the concept entirely. Instead of dwelling on death itself, it's about holding on to what mattered in life, the relationships and feelings you had for other people. Kelson helps Spike face Isla's illness. He's the one who diagnoses her terminal cancer and guides both mother and son through accepting what's coming. His approach is practical but gentle. By treating death as part of life rather than its enemy, he gives Spike a framework to process his grief without losing himself to hopelessness. The Alpha returns. Spike fights it off and is urged to return to Lindisfarne with the baby. He does go back, but he leaves her at the gate and heads back to the mainland. Spike's refusal to stay home speaks volumes. His father clings to safety, but Spike's grief drives him outward. His arc isn't about rebuilding civilization. It's about searching for meaning in its ruins. Later, Spike is saved from the infected by Jimmy, now a cult leader wearing his inverted cross. This is the final gut punch. Jimmy has survived not by rejecting faith, but by remaking it into something predatory. Spike's acceptance into his cult leaves us questioning whether this is hope, or has survival merely become another form of surrender? At its core, 28 years later is less about an outbreak and more about what's left. It's about people clinging to faith, memory, and whatever scraps of meaning they can find. Spike's journey doesn't end with answers. It ends with him walking back into the unknown and carrying the weight of everything he's lost. In this world, survival isn't heroic. It's uncertain and often lonely. But maybe that's the point. In a place defined by death and ruin, staying alive is only the beginning. What comes after is where the story really lives. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.